Okay, we're gonna make arroz con pollo. First of all, I got a big skillet. I put in there some ghee, and that's just so that the chicken doesn't stick. And I am running this at about a 6.5 on an induction stove, which is about 240 degrees. What I measured it with a the chicken I'm using is I like to use thighs boned in with a little bit of skin just to give it white meat. So I put in just plain chicken breasts in there, also cut into about two chicken breasts, cut into thirds to make it more manageable. Temperature seems to the oil seems to get a lot hotter. I'm going to lower it down just a little bit to 6 instead of 6.5, and then let this brown. Some salt and pepper. Okay, while the chicken is still frying in the pan, I'm going to start on the rice. So basically, I will be using some avocado oil, some ghee. It's just my preference. He's almost melted down. Temperature is about a 6 on my induction stove. Again, my stove goes anywhere between 1 and 10. So you can increment it in increments of half a number. And then the rice that I'll be using is a medium grain rice. It is 1 cup of rice, and all I do is pour it into the pan. Once the oil is hot and the ghee is melted, I will let that cook and brown. So I'll come back later when this is brown, and I'll come back when I turn the chicken over. In the meantime, I will be preparing for the additional seasonings that I will be adding to the arroz con pollo. While the chicken is browning and the rice is browning, I will now prepare the sauce that I mix with the chicken and the rice. Um, I'll be using a blender, just a little magic blender to mix everything up, uh, and use salt, pepper, cumin, fresh garlic, cloves, about 2 or 3 mashed, and then or peeled and mashed, and then some fresh tomatoes and some tomato paste. So since I am using 1 cup of rice, I need to have at least 1 to 1.5 cups of sauce that will be cooking the rice after it's brown. So to make my mixture, I'll start with maybe about a cup of chicken broth, chicken stock. That'll be my flavor instead of using water. Again, I'm trying to make 2 cups of fluid or sauce. And so what I'll usually do is I assume that in here I can make roughly a cup, and then in here I already have a cup. So I'll put in my garlic in here. I will, I need another hand for this, but I will be also putting some onion powder. I will be putting some cumin, and I will be putting some salt and also some black pepper in this container here. Coming back to check on my rice, it's turning brown. As you can see, it's right here, it's turning nice and brown. So that's looking nice. We want to get it pretty evenly distributed. And then here we look at the chicken. This looks like it's about ready to turn over. Look at my thumb. Okay, so I'm going to turn these over and add salt and pepper again to the opposite side. And then let it brown. In the meantime, it's also a good idea to come back and check on rice so that it doesn't get too dark. See how this is starting to get pretty dark. I would go any darker than that. I'm going to lower the temperature down, maybe 4, and just let it continue to brown a little bit. And again, we don't want it too brown, we want it kind of even. This helps the rice start cooking. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this off, let it finish cooking on its own. All right, coming back to my sauce. In this container here, I went ahead and put in my cumin, black pepper, salt, and onion powder. You can always put onion in there. We like powder just because I'm not a big onion fan. That kind of takes away some of the strength and flavor for me. Again, I put them all into this little blender. I'll also put this tomato paste in there in a moment, and then also put the chicken stock in here. Right, and then blend this. Ingredients, including the tomato paste. I'm just going to shake it and in the blender. There you go. And then this will be poured into this pitcher to try to make at least 2 cups or 2.5 cups of sauce that will cook with the chicken and the rice. Okay, continuation with the chicken sauce, or the sauce for arroz con pollo. I'm going to put the mixture that I just made, and it looks like it comes up about 2 cups. I'm going to continue adding a little bit more chicken stock, make it to about 2.5 cups. There we go. So this will be put again into a mixture with the rice, the chicken, and then I'll add tomatoes, and they will simmer for 20 minutes. All right, I'm going to give you a quick lay of the land. Here's the rice. It's been turned off. It's pretty evenly brown. The chicken that's on the other side, it's been turned around and nice and golden brown. Okay, we're ready to mix all the ingredients in. It's been about 20 minutes, so putting all the ingredients, or building all the ingredients and browning the chicken, it'll be another 20 to 25 minutes to mix them together and let them simmer. Next step is go ahead and throw all the rice in here, mix it up, or spread it around. Then what I like to do is go ahead and throw in this sauce that I made, about 2.5 cups of sauce. You can see it's already boiling. I like to have the fluid, the sauce, go ahead and be well within the meat and the rice, so the rice cooks with the sauce. And then I will throw in tomato pieces. It's only tomatoes is probably cut up into halves. These are just cherry tomatoes. You can use any tomatoes, of course. Probably about 3 handfuls, or 10 to 12 cherry tomatoes. So I'm gonna wait for this to boil. See, it's starting to boil a little bit. Okay, as you can see, the arroz con pollo is starting to boil. I'm going to go ahead, and it's boiling at 6.5 on induction stove. And I'm closing up the lid, and I want to set my timer for 20 minutes. And also I'm going to reduce the heat. For regular stove, it's probably somewhere halfway to a little bit less than half. I'm going to run it here at 3.5, again for 20 minutes. And I'll come back in 20 minutes. That's a good time to prepare other things, whether it's a salad or refried beans. Okay, 20 minutes is about up. And you can see that the chicken, or arroz con pollo, is still simmering in there. Take a look at it, and you can see how it's nice and yellow or orangish color. So really the chicken is ready. So there's a lot of sauce in there right now. You can always let it evaporate a little bit, not too much, because that juice is really flavorful. But anyway, it looks like it turned out great. Again, it took 20 minutes to simmer. As you can see, here's the final result out of Arroz con pollo, chicken on the left, and then the rice with a little avocado and tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, that is. And here's what's left over in the pan. So you can see it still looks pretty moist and ready to eat.